Greetings! Today I'd like to begin with a Bible verse that correlates with the phase of this part of my journey where I was placed by the Almighty in my journey passing, as God sometimes puts us in certain situations or places to shine our light and walk in truth and draw in lost souls, as many as we can, that may have in some parts of their journey lost their way and need a bit of a nudge or someone to guide them back to find the light during the rest of their journey on this earth. Ephesians 2 and verse 10 says, "For we are God's workmanship, created in Christ Jesus to do good works, which God prepared in advance as our way of life." So sometimes almost everything in life just doesn't go the way we plan or the way we want it. It's not that we are broken at the time and we don't fit in, or that we've lost our way. Sometimes those doors close in on us because God is working silently to redirect us and for our own protection. Now sometimes you will notice that you and I are different because we are light workers. We are the ones who wake up tired at times, not because we are lazy, but because we spent the night fasting, praying, or trying to restore soul contracts and trying very hard to remember why we were put in this place and what is our mission while here. You and I know who we are, except sometimes we tend to do a Jonah and we take the opposite direction because we may just be too tired, or we don't want to actually take the path because we know what lies ahead. We kind of have a vision or premonitions that is given to us sometimes by God. So we want to go in the opposite direction, and hence we take the other way instead of the way or the path allotted for us. As we feel everything, the pressure also gets to us at times, such that we cry and we don't understand the reason of these sudden tears. Or we might want to laugh or feel heavy-hearted and guilty. And at times we may walk into a room or a certain building and we just feel the pressure change, the atmosphere changes. We get shifty, uneasy. We feel extremely peculiar. That is because we have the light of God in us. And though it may be a bit uncomfortable for a while, but remember, if God is placing you in a particular place or a situation, He will have His angels carry you in His arms so that you do not dash your feet against rocks and stones and no harm will come to you. Because when you are in a place where God has placed you, no weapon formed against you shall prosper. So, we should continue on as per God's will and fulfill the mission or the purpose that He has put us on the path or the journey for. And if at times the darkness feels too heavy during that particular phase of your life or the journey, then God will protect you. And in case He sees that you're about to sink into the mire, He will remove you from that situation suddenly and by force, so that you don't get engulfed into the same darkness where the other lost souls are wandering aimlessly. Sometimes, after you've exited that place, your light still lingers on, or something you may have said or did during the time you were around these lost souls, they get to later wake up and realize that they definitely need to cleanse their souls and seek salvation. So with or without you around to intervene on their behalf to the divine, they may seek and call out and ask God for pardon, and knowing that God is a ever-loving, ever-forgiving God and allows the rain to pour down on everyone equally, irrespective of whether you're a lost soul or you have the light of God in you. He also is a God of second chances, and He keeps forgiving and keeps embracing lost sheep that come back to the fold. So sometimes when we choose to walk with God and be His messenger or a chosen one, we turn into loners and have to walk the paths alone, because we have these conversations with invisible friends according to onlookers, and it seems rather peculiar or a bit hilarious when these onlookers think that you've all of a sudden gone cuckoo, and so they would either try to criticize or avoid you. So all through your life, you may have been told that there is something wrong or peculiar about you, but don't be discouraged. There is nothing wrong with you at all. The world around you is only reacting to your light, and it doesn't know how to receive you yet. But you are here on divine assignments, and even if you forgot yourself for a while and you don't have it all figured out, your presence here is no coincidence, and you will be guided every step of the way by the higher force and God Almighty and His angelic and spiritual guides and beings. You didn't come to this earth to be normal just like the rest. You came to rebuild and refine it. The reason you or I may never fit in is because we were never meant to fit in, as we always have a higher purpose and calling, and we are an encoded being, as our DNA carries a very different blueprint. The reason sometimes we may feel off in this world is because we are not aligned with the artificial timelines and someone who embraces dark forces. And see, we know that we have a certain light within us that is channeled into others' lives or into their journey, so that they have a chance to turn from their wicked ways and seek salvation. We don't battle against flesh and blood, as the good word says, but against entities that are embodied in people. And when they know that you are from the light and you have a calling, they sometimes shy away from you, or they completely avoid you, or they will even do everything in their power to either steal your spotlight and then put you through a hellish nightmare during your short tenure amongst them. At times, when God sees that the road ahead gets too rough and rocky, He forcefully will close that door to protect you, because you had been placed there or entered only upon His authorization and direction. And as He sees that the persecution gets too much, He steps in to to avenge on your behalf and quickly gets you out of there. So as the saying goes, that absence at times makes the heart grow fonder, and distance makes the heart go yonder. So it's only sometimes after you've moved on to the next leg of your journey is when these lost souls will try and seek after the light and salvation because they were too embarrassed or coy to want to take your help or use your guidance to seek out the light and their redemption. But somehow, whether partially or wholly, your light shone on them for that particular time, and it could have brought realization to many so that they accept the awakening and the reality that has dawned on them. Now, when they begin to reminisce at times, long after you've moved on, sometimes many of these lost souls will feel understood for the first time in their lives and decide to embrace and seek the light. And yet others will prefer to continue sailing those darkened, raging, dark, deep oceans that they've been continued to sail in. And they would prefer not to leave and continue because there is momentary pleasure, materialistic gain, which they wouldn't want to just give up overnight. So I've written a small poem about the enclave that I used to live in when God had placed me there to shine my light on those lost souls. I've named the poem as Echoes of the Hollow Enclave. In the hollow enclave, behind bolted doors, lived whispers of pride on polished floors. Malice wore heels, lies dressed in lace, and greed had a smile on its porcelain face. Neighbors in name with hollow hearts, each played their role as actors in scripted parts. They spoke in tongues of sugar and spice, but daggers danced beneath that ice. Backs were stabbed with silken charm, then blessed in prayer to veil the harm. Their laughter echoed sharp and sly, their tongues as twisted as their eyes. A neighbor's fall, a tale to spread, with stories forged and falsely fed. Behind those gates and fancy cars were credit ghosts and financial scars. They posed as kings and queens in social light, but wrestled shame alone at night. They spoke of God, of Sunday grace, but cursed you softly to your face. Betrayal brewed in every smile, their kindness laced with hidden guile. And in the dark, strange powers stirred, with candles lit and hexes heard. Each echo carved in slow repeat. Their robes were clean, their voices grand, yet filth and fraud clung to each of their hands. Witchcraft brewed in midnight chants, under the moonlit stars and whispered rants. The rich man feasted, fat and proud, while Lazarus wept beneath his shroud. Darkness clung to the crumbling wall, as truth was silenced by the call of ego masked as moral might, of gossip spun in broad daylight. They stole with style, their halos bright, and danced in praise beneath the light. Maintenance funds like rivers flowed, but none could see where the riches rode. They spoke of God, of Sunday grace, and mind you, they cursed you softly to your face. They smiled with grace, then turned to sneer, and whispered lies for all to hear. Malice lingered in the breeze, pride sat high on their rusted knees. But worse still were all those who led, who forged false halos overhead. Outstanding folk, the town would say, while funds went missing day by day. The maintenance pool, meant to repair, was siphoned off with expert flair. A rogue 10 days, no proof in hand. A rogue 10 days, caught in the fray, but slipped right through with no delay. No paper trails, no proof in hand, just smoke and mirrors of the invisible hands. They spun a web of blame and charm, and suddenly vanished, leaving deeper harm. The walls would listen, but never speak, as secrets echoed week by week. The walls absorbed their veiled deceit, each echo carved in slow repeat. You'd think the silence might forgive, but shadows know the lives they lived. For I have walked those halls and days, through cobwebbed halls and toxic praise. The star of light I was passing through, tried winning those souls, urged their faith to renew. This was no home, no sacred space, but a haunted shell of fallen grace. And yet, sometimes in my quiet space, I faintly heard the Enclave's cursed embrace. Now, far from there, I breathe, I heal, away from shadows and evil deeds. But not all echoes fade in time. Evil thrives as they don't fear the divine. While gloom still clings to those crumbling walls, I acknowledged God's voice and paid heed to his call. God gives us opportunities in life as the chosen ones with light within to create magic, so that others will remember to dream again or to be redeemed. You and I are here not to fit in, but to reconfigure or transmute and to break all those false systems that gently with the truth and seed new ones with love, patience, and the light. Sometimes the other side where the darkness prevails tries to engulf you or to captivate you so that you reign along with their false and, duplicate crowns. But don't let yourself get drawn in or get flustered with all the glitz and the glamour, as it's all just a temporary passing shower. Don't allow yourself to get too distracted. If you feel you're slipping away, remember, call unto him and he will answer you. Seek and you will find. Knock and the door will be opened, for he will send his angels and his guides to help you in case you're lost along the way. So stand by your truth, accept who you are and what you are, and know that you are a multi-talented being of light and a higher calling, sent to wake up those lost souls around you. Some of these souls that you even helped to steer back onto the path could be in the same league as you are, but somehow they got lost along the way and they were just a bit too scared to find the courage or to voice themselves out loud to return to their calling or their higher purpose. You can be that shining lighthouse, revolving on those shores to give hope to those lost and exhausted sailors, assuring them that it's just a matter of time until they land safely on the shores once again. Everyone deserves a second chance. So if you can help to release someone's shame and fear them to do so in simplicity and humility and complete what you came here to do, arise and awaken and be who you came to be. Build and restore what you came to do, and then gladly accept and move on to your next mission. As you, child of God, are divinely favored and blessed, and God will always protect you when He has put you on these missions. Much love and blessings of light and peace to all of you. Bye now.